Welcome to another episode of the Hungry Hungarian Hammock Hanger. Today we'll be making... Now this is kind of an addendum to the Easy Trail Sloppy Joes that I made a couple of years ago and has become a quick staple in my pack and the packs of my friends. I like to share this one or both of these with my friends when we head out on the trail. Now, I'm continuing my path towards no cook, particularly for breakfasts and lunches. These I tend to use for lunch, though they could be used for dinner as well. All you need is about an hour or two, depending upon how well soaked up you want the beans to be. And once you drop that in your tortillas, makes for a delicious trail lunch. Let's get started. Today's shopping list is 2 cans of chicken breast. I like to try to get as fat-free as possible here. 1 fresh green bell pepper, half of a jar of pickled jalapenos, half of a jar of regular pickles, 1 to 1.5 cups of chopped celery, 1 to 1.5 cups of shredded carrot, a half a can of refried beans, your buffalo sauce to taste, powdered sour cream. I'll package that in with it after it's all dehydrated and done. To get started, take your green bell pepper, core it, remove the interior, julienne that, and then chop that up into small pieces. Next up, use a food processor to mince your jalapenos and your pickles. Rather than doing this by hand, since they're a bit messy. Shred your carrots. I prefer matchstick carrots, but the store was out, so I'm using the food processor to shred those up rather finely as well. Shred the celery. Going to take all the vegetables, mix them in one big bowl, let those start getting friendly while you work on the chicken. Use the food processor to give the chicken like a pate-like consistency. This just helps with the rehydrating process. Then add your half of a can of refried beans, add your vegetables, and stir to combine. Once everything's well combined, take your sauce and just keep on adding that until it's about the spiciness level that you want. I will warn you here that whatever the spiciness level it is when you make it, after it's dehydrated and comes back, it seems to be a little bit more spicy. So if you like spicy, great. Go a little light. Our shopping list today for the chicken bean burrito includes 2 cans of chicken breast. Again, I like to go as fat-free as possible, just helps extend shelf life. Green bell pepper. You're going to need onion, white or yellow, works well here. My store was out of fresh onions, so I went with these. A half a can of corn. You need 2.5 cans of refried beans. A half of a jar of your choice of tomato-based salsa, a half jar of Verde Salsa. You can just use 1 whole jar of salsa if you prefer. Like we did before, cut up your green bell pepper after having cored it and deveined it. Then saute your green bell peppers and onions in just a little bit of oil. I like to use like a peppered oil for mine. Keep going until those become more or less translucent. Next up, you're going to use the food processor to get the chicken down to that pate-like consistency. I know it looks gross, but it really does help with the rehydration later. Add the corn and the beans, and you're going to stir that up really well. Then you're going to add the cooked onions and peppers. You can add some seasoning in at this point if you'd like, a little bit of salt or some paprika. Now you're going to add in the salsas, and you're going to stir that up. Spread out this food on just some parchment paper that makes it really easy for cleanup. Then you're going to set that at about 120 degrees Fahrenheit, or maybe just a little under. My dehydrator doesn't hit that perfectly. And I'm going to set that for about 20 hours. And I'm going to come back, flip it anywhere in there that it's necessary, and keep going until it's good and crumbly. I'm going to vacuum seal this up, and it'll be ready to go.
Well, there you have it. Hopefully you'll enjoy these meals. The buffalo chicken wrap, and then the chicken bean burritos. I'm going to put a link up here and in the description where you can watch a video of us eating these meals prepared out on the trail. Again, no cook, between an hour, 2 hours. That's normally about the time frame that I do that. Very good. The buffalo wrap I made a little more spicy than I probably will next time, but it all depends upon how much you want to really get that buffalo flavor. Quite spicy. If you've got any questions or comments, drop them below. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the Hungry Hungarian Hammock Hanger.